Hi, I'm Peter from Coffee Parts, and this here is a Nuova Simonelli Oscar II. Let's get into it and find out more. The Nuova Simonelli Oscar II. Now this is an entry-level heat exchange machine, and what's beautiful about heat exchange machines is you can do coffee and steam at the same time. Doesn't sound like much, but once you start using coffee machines, you realize how beautiful that is. Being able to pour your espresso, and while you're doing that, you got your milk going. Basically, your espresso is not sitting there for too long after while you pour, and everything's perfect. With this particular machine, it's the baby of the Nuova Simonelli range, and it's quite neat in that it's only 30 centimeters wide, so it doesn't take up too much room. Being heat exchange, obviously you can do your coffee and steam at the same time, but on this case, it's actually also volumetric, so it's programmable for your dose for your single and double. Kind of convenient, and generally probably a little bit more like a situation where you'd use in an office and you've got multiple people using it. At home, I'm not sure if you need it. I do like the manual style of an E61 head, but the option is there to use it. Now, the particulars on this machine, it has a 2.8 litre water reservoir tank that's removable for cleaning. I like removable tanks because you can just wash them easier. Some machines make them hard to remove, and I just think over time, I get a bit funny knowing that. And it runs a 2 litre boiler. Once again, I mentioned it's a heat exchange. So what is heat exchange? Heat exchange means it's basically a pipe that runs through the boiler. So when you do coffee, the water comes from your reservoir tank through the heat exchange and out the group head, and it's always fresh. It heats up while it travels through the heat exchange. And then for your hot water and your steam, the steam picks up from the top of the boiler and your hot water picks up from the bottom. In this case, it actually runs the same arm for both hot water and steam, and it's a lever actuation to turn it on. The difference between hot water and steam depends on which button you press. Now, one thing we love and dislike about it at the same time is the drip tray. It's big and it's nice, but when you remove it, you actually have to lift it up a bit, and if it was really full, it would leak out slightly. That's because it's got two little notches here that helps it keep perfectly in line and looks beautiful when everything's like flush and straight, but removing it and putting it back in, that little bit there, I think you could like kind of spill a bit off the drain water, and that could be awkward. The power switch is nice and hidden. That keeps everything like the minimalistic look, and the power cable comes out at the bottom, and it really has that modern, polished, fresh look on your bench. Looking at the build of this machine, it's predominantly stainless with some areas in plastic, namely the drip tray and the cup warmer on top. With the top being a cup warmer, you want to put your cups up here to basically absorb as much of the temperature as possible, as when you're making coffee, if the cup was cold, it's going to deplete the temperature of the coffee and bring it down and change the taste profile. So you want to have your cups nice and warm before you're running coffee, or if they're not, you want to heat them up with hot water, or to say water from your group head. One nice thing about this machine is you can fill up your water tank or remove and clean your water tank without having to remove any of the cups, as they're independent of them too. On some machines, you have to take the top panel off to fill it, which makes it awkward and just a bit more work. So with this one, you can fill the tank up, you can have your cups here, and you can easily activate and deactivate the steam. It's actually a really nice build and typical Italian design. Another thing on this machine is, compared to most domestics, it runs a 4-hole steam tip. Now they're quite fine holes, so you are going to slow down your milk and it's fine. Generally speaking though, 2-hole tends to be the preference for home. Once again, you can actually replace these quite easily. They unscrew, you can put another one in, so not a big deal there. To program this machine, we probably will be wanting to use a scale, just to help really dial in your weight in, weight out with your grinding and espresso out. But if you had a scale here, what you'd do, you'd hold down the double button till it all flashes. Once it's flashing, you put your scale and your cup there, obviously load your portafilter, tamp your coffee, do all that. Press start, watch it flow. Once it starts pigtailing and kicking in, or depending on your weight ratio, if you just say doing 20 and 40 out, once it hits that 40 grams, press stop, and now that's set. That's your double set. So simple, hold down the button, let it flash, press it to start, press it to stop, and it's set. What does this machine come with? Now, being an entry level, only comes with one portafilter, which is normal at that price point. So it comes with one double portafilter, a single basket, so you can run double or single, but generally speaking, we prefer to always run double, because when you adjust the grinder, changing baskets means you have to adjust the grinder kind of slightly just to make it perfect, and that's a bit tedious, so we always just run doubles for everything. Comes with a plastic scoop, like you've seen in other reviews. I think these are completely useless, so I'll chuck it out. And a plastic tamper, once again, I'll probably chuck it out or use a paperweight somewhere and buy myself a real tamper. If you're using a grinder that's grind on demand, you don't need a plastic scoop, and that'll be the ultimate way to go. You really don't want to be buying such nice machines and then using pre-ground or stale coffee. You'd want to be grinding on demand, and something like this would pair up really nicely with something like an Eureka Specialita, or at a lower price point, maybe a Eureka Manuale, Barista Setti, something like that. So overall, the Oscar II is our entry-level heat exchange home coffee machine, and it represents real good value, especially for a heat exchange where most of them are sitting at double the price. We basically love it. It's small, it's simple, and it's easy to use. Not a machine for everyone. If you're a super enthusiast, you're probably gonna go up to a Rocket or a La Marzocco or something along those lines, but they definitely have a place in the market sitting between the dual purpose, let's say Gadget Classic, Rancheria Silvia, and the Rocket VBMs, La Marzocco's of the world. Perfect in-betweener, and value for money is definitely there. Let us know what you think about this machine in the comments below. Is it your choice of machine, or what machine do you have at home? And as usual, please like this video, share it, subscribe. You know what to do. It's not your first time on YouTube. Thank you again. I'm Pedro from Coffee Parts. Have a good day.